Yeah, because even like in this current election, for this municipal election, there's there's I'm seeing tons of women, tons of people of color.
Mentally prepared. But now that I am mentally prepared, the rest, by the grace of God, should be easy stuff we deal with. One step at a time, getting the campaign kickoff party ready since, it's starting off next month. And, getting the word out and really just pushing. That's what we're doing right now.
Nice. So in this election, and I was really excited because I'm like, everyone's getting activated, and there's like, they're going to add actually 2 more seats to it's supposed to be from 45 to 47.
Yes.
So like, I'm like, all right, that's a good positive sign that, we're moving in the right direction. We're going to have more people of color, more representation for our communities. But now, like, it seems like we're scaling that back. It's just it's a very interesting time right now in Toronto and in Ontario. But sticking on our communities and stuff like that. You brought up a good point of people voting, right? It feels like, and you're saying like people who tend to lean left don't necessarily vote as much and have more faith in people. How can we get especially like the hip hop community and people of color motivated to vote?
They have to start thinking of their children, right? We're all getting older. Our generation's getting older. We have to start thinking, what type of city and province and country are we leaving to our children?
Yeah.
And a lot of us are born here. Our parents came here for a better life. Who are we to just ignore the fact that they came here for better opportunity and not participate? So we really have to think, all it takes is an hour of your day, maybe at the most. You get up, you go, you bring your ID, you vote, and you're done. That small gesture has such a huge impact on the rest of your life, the rest of the whole community's life. And so people have to understand that if they don't vote, they're actually voting for the opposition. If you don't make a statement, you're actually letting negative statements or the wrong thing go through. So I'm hoping people like me who come from a regular background, a hardworking immigrant family who's worked my way up, not born into money, not born into politics or law, I can be an example for others who say, I want to do something with my life, and they get inspired to vote. But it's also the parents of those people, of our generation, and the children. But the parents have to be the ones to lead. Like, my kids now vote all the time, and they vote because I tell them, look, you got to vote. They know I'm politically active, but at the end of the day, even if I wasn't, I'd say that's your responsibility. So we have to just impart that amongst the youth to say, your vote counts, you can make a difference. And just think about it. I'm running for mayor. If everybody in the community were actually voted and they wanted someone who's going to represent them for the right reasons and for the truth and for positivity, then they would vote in my direction. But if they don't believe in voting and they left it up to everyone else, they're going to vote for the typical politician who does the catchphrases, the slogans, who has a whole bunch of money and does all these fancy things that typical politicians do. And then they're going to miss out on someone who's actually going to represent their needs and make sure that they have a safer city, make sure they have a more affordable city. And that's what I'm trying to offer.
Yes. So in terms of, offering services and stuff like that to the city, right now, this year has been crazy with the gun violence, So far we had 58 homicides. Compared to last year, we had 24 homicides, I believe, right? What can we do as a city to address this issue? Like, because it seems like this year we're having another year of the gun, basically, right? There's a lot of deaths. And then, like you're saying, even in Danforth and then even in North York, there's been mass killings and shootings and, it's just been getting crazy. How can we address that problem?
We have to look at why is it happening. And I'll tell you this, when you look at the statistics, we're at the rates that we were in 2016. We're very close to those. 2017 it dropped, but now we've spiked back up. And stabbings have increased tenfold, right? Yes. So it's not only shootings, but also stabbings and other types of violent crime.
Yes.
So it's violent crime as a whole. And I think it really has a lot to do with economics. It has a lot to do with the political atmosphere. And unfortunately, social media has a big impact on how people are interacting with each other. People are becoming less social. They're staying in their own rooms. They're not communicating with people. They're not learning how to resolve conflict. And even people who have problems with each other, they're seeing, oh, he posted he's here. Oh, I can go over there and get them, right? And even temperature has an issue when it comes to violence. When the weather gets warm and sunny, people get out more, and when people are out more, you're running into more people. So there's so many different factors, but honestly, the major factor is poverty, right? Economics, education, and self-esteem. And I'd like to see us address those issues because we can drastically reduce the amount of gun violence specifically in the city, specifically for those young people who look like us.
Yeah.
Young African Canadian men, unfortunately, are disproportionately victims and perpetrators of violence recently. And it's because they're getting suspended and expelled from school at a young age. And when you're not in school, you're not doing something with your time. They're disengaged at the educational level because if you're not engaged, if there's nothing feeding your mind or you're feeling a part of something, you're not going to want to participate.
Yeah.
Once you're out of school, then you're going to be surrounded by other people who are out and who are doing nothing or the wrong thing with their time. You combine that again with being targeted, right? Targeted by police on a constant basis. Then you start to be criminalized, and then you feel like, oh, well, I might as well be a criminal because I'm a criminal.
Yeah.
You marry that up with unemployment. Unfortunately, systemic racism goes across the board, where unemployment, if you're not employed, you want to get money. If you can't get a job, you're not in school, you're not educated, what ends up happening? You start resorting to maybe robbing people or stealing or selling drugs, which is wrong on every front. And there's never an excuse for that type of behavior. But these are the reasons why it's happening.
Yeah. And
we have to address them. And furthermore, it's self-esteem. When you're told constantly you're not worth anything, when you're shown in movies and videos and news reports that you're known to police, you're just a criminal, you deserve to die, then you think, okay, well, my life's not worth anything. I'm going to go ahead and kill this guy because his life's not worth anything. And that's where we get this back and forth of killing in the community. So if we want it to stop, unfortunately, more police is not going to stop it. Because we have a strong police force. We have a good police force that actually has the tools. They have the technology. They have the intelligence. But they don't have the connection with the community. And when you persecute a community, you will not get them to cooperate with you. And if you want cohesion, you have to treat the community properly. And you have to also be part of the solution. If we leave people suspended from school and unemployed and uneducated, even if you bring in 200 officers and arrest all the alleged people that are creating the crime, there's a whole new set of them that are ready to come up because they're still facing the same conditions. The only way it's going to stop is when you unroot those conditions, pull the roots out, and give the people what they need. And it's not only African Canadian, because you look, the incidents of violence are up everywhere.
Yeah.
And all people in the city need the right support. And I'm seeing a lot of mental health problems develop.
Yeah.
Right. And we see with this recent Danforth shooting.
Was it from that car?
The young man had mental health issues, and parents knew it. But I don't know what type of supports he received, but our city has enough tax dollars and enough intelligence and enough creative people to think of ways to really support people that need that immediately and need intensive treatment. And that's what I'd like to see going forward with the city.